Do you believe in standing up for what is right, even when everyone around you disagrees? Meet Amadi, a man who dared to defy tradition in Igbo land. In a village where old beliefs reigned supreme, Amadi was a beacon of hope and a voice of change. His story is one of courage, conviction, and ultimate sacrifice. This is a tale that not only speaks to the power of one man's beliefs, but also highlights the struggle against oppressive customs. Join me as we dive into the extraordinary life of Amadi, the man who defied tradition.
In the heart of Igbo land, ancient secrets whispered through dense forests while rivers flowed over sacred earth. Amadi stands tall among his people, known not just for his physical strength, but for his fierce spirit. When missionaries began to share the message of Christianity, Amadi found himself at a crossroads. He lived in a time when the killing of twins was tragically commonplace, viewed as a curse by his community. Twins, innocent lives, were abandoned, cast away, or sacrificed to appease the gods. Amadi, haunted by the cries of lost innocence, vowed he would no longer accept such barbarity. As a child, he watched in horror as twins were abandoned to the wild. This left a deep scar on his heart, far stronger than any belief in vengeful gods. He could never accept the idea that the weak deserved to die. When he encountered the teachings of the missionaries, he felt a sense of purpose awaken within him. Their message of love and redemption was the light he had been searching for. Yet, standing against deeply rooted traditions comes at a heavy price. The elders in his village saw him as a growing threat. His rejection of the killing practices was like dynamite under their authority. The pressure mounted. Whispers of dissent spread through the village like wildfire. Everything changed when his fourth wife, Adaeze, announced she was pregnant. Rumors buzzed about the village. Many feared the gods would take their wrath out on them. When Adaeze gave birth, the air was thick with tension. Then came the news. The twins had arrived. Joy quickly turned to despair. Their hearts sank. The villagers' eyes reflected their fear. The twins had to die. Amadi's heart shattered as he gazed upon the two tiny boys. These children were born of love, not an omen. As the news reached the elders, they wasted no time convening in the sacred grove. The priest arrived with warriors in tow, a symbol of their ancient traditions. "Give us the twins," they demanded, their authority echoing in the air. Amadi stood defiant in the doorway of his home, his voice steady. "I refuse to give up my children." The priest's sneer was chilling. "Do you think your Christian faith can save you from their wrath?" In that moment, silence fell over the villagers. Amadi felt the weight of their judgment, but remained undeterred. "No!" he exclaimed. "These are my sons, and they will live." With that proclamation, he stepped back, closing the door behind him. Adaeze looked at him with fearful eyes, cradling the twins. "What will happen to us?" she asked, voice trembling. Amadi replied, "We will stand firm. We will not give them up." But the elders rose in anger. They ordered the warriors to seize him in the dark of night. They dragged him from his home, powerless villagers fading into shadows around him. Bound and dragged to the square, Amadi faced the elders, holding his head high. They called for the sacrifice of his twins before the crowd's eyes. His heart cried out for their innocence as he fought to keep his resolve. The punishment was not death. It was something far crueler. Amadi would be stripped of honor, disowned, exiled. As he was cast out, the villagers turned their backs, their whispers cold. His twins were taken to the sacred grove, meeting their tragic end in an ancient ritual. Though the village mourned, it was not for the loss of innocent life, but for the fear of the gods' anger. With his heart heavy, Amadi wandered into the wilderness, alone and broken. He found solace in the very forests where he had once seen abandoned twins. Though his body was an exile, his spirit remained unbroken. In the quiet of night, he whispered a prayer to the Christian God. "Forgive them," he cried out, streams of tears marking his sorrow. "Forgive me for not saving them, but I will not give up on the truth." His faith became his armor against the darkness that surrounded him. Though he lost everything, he was determined to spread the message of love and life. Few who were once his neighbors began to remember his words. In the shadows, his legacy grew, a seed planted in the hearts of those who witnessed his courage. But Amadi, knowing he would never see the change he longed for, found peace in his solitude. He died in the wilderness, a martyr to some, yet a vision of what could be to others. The village eventually began to embrace a new way of life, but it came too late for Amadi. He had paid the ultimate price for his beliefs, one that history would not forget.
What would you have done if you were in Amadi's shoes? Would you have stood up against tradition for the sake of innocent lives? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found Amadi's story inspiring, give us a like and share this video with friends. Together, let's keep the conversation alive about the price of courage and the power of change. Remember, every act of defiance can ripple through time, inspiring others to seek a better world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.